It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. I'm making no promises about this morning because the Wi-Fi has been wonky. I don't know if the intro ever played. I got nothing on this end. But yeah, it's been crazy wonky this morning. I tried numerous places around the ship. I was either getting absolutely no signal or it was really too loud. So I ended up back in my cabin again. And again, no guarantees on this morning's show. So we'll just see how it goes and make the best of it, I guess. No idea why. You know, it's taken me 2 and 3 times longer to do everything that I do every day. So that's thrown me way behind. Let's see if there's okay, Steve's here saying hear you good so far. Thanks, Steve. Good morning, Kenneth. Good morning, everybody. Okay, welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this Thursday, May 11th, 2023. I know it's Thursday. I've set up the Cruise Amigo show for 12:30 my time, so I know it's Thursday. All right, guys, got just a few stories this morning. A whole lot in the world of news, but political unrest forces itinerary changes. Resilient Lady launched. Solo supplements waived. Dining changes for Carnival Pride. Yosemite could be closed into July. And much more here live at 11 o'clock. Today, folks, is National Eat What You Want Day. Isn't that going on a cruise? I don't know. It seems like it to me. I didn't write that, folks. Somebody made that today. Well, that's kind of what I do all the time on a cruise ship. If I want an and I've tried to avoid desserts on this ship. And believe me, folks, I have failed miserably. No doubt about it. I did a lot better on the last cruise. I'm doing okay with bread. Not really good because I have had some burgers and stuff. But, doing okay with bread. But I am not doing well at all on avoiding the desserts. Too good. If you're listening by the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big hitters, just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. If you are listening by the podcast, there's always a link in the description of the podcast to access the video feed in case you want to jump over and see any pictures or clips or interviews that I might be doing on that particular day's show. I had a little bit of a discussion this morning on one of the Facebook groups. One of our regulars mentioned that she probably started following me because I used to do shows earlier than this. And I did, several years ago. Moved it to 11. So I throw this out as an opinion, guys. Which would you rather have? Me doing shows now at 11 o'clock or at like 8 in the morning, 8 or 9 in the morning. Now, I know some of you work, and doing one at 8 or 9 in the morning might throw a wrinkle in your plans. because you got to get to work and stuff. I know Katie sometimes can catch us on her lunch break. But just drop in the chat room or in the comments if you'd like. Just put earlier, or the same. And I'm not making any guarantees I'll change either way, but I like to get your opinion and see which way it goes. If we're overwhelmingly one way or the other, I could possibly change. I don't have anything against doing it earlier. It might make my research time a little less, but unless it's just an unusual day, I have some for 11 o'clock show after I've completed my research and, run the show for the day. So, I'm not, totally averse to doing the show earlier if that's what suits the majority of the audience. When I'm on cruises, I said, okay, I'm doing the show earlier when I'm on excursions, which that obviously has done me well on this cruise. So, but anyway, throw your opinion in. I'll take it under advisement. How's that for being fancy? By the way, folks, let me take this opportunity to invite you to subscribe to this channel. The bell notification lets you know when I go live or when a new video is up. And as always, smash that thumbs up button. Those are the two things that help the channel grow and get bigger and get more viewers and fool with the formulas that YouTube use on who gets to see this and who doesn't and all that crap that I don't understand. All right, today's top story, folks, has to deal with Royal Caribbean. This isn't as bad as some of the stories on Royal Caribbean this week, I suppose. But Odyssey of the Seas, which is over there in Europe right now, is currently sailing what was to have been a 12-night Holy Land cruise itinerary with ports of call for both Jerusalem, Bethlehem, as well as Tel Aviv, Nazareth, and Israel. Both of these ports of call have been canceled, with substitute ports in Greece added to the ship's itinerary. Guests on board have been notified of the changes by announcement by the ship's captain, as well as letters delivered to the staterooms. The letter explained, despite our best efforts to preserve our Holy Land experience, the geopolitical situation is escalating. As a result, we've suspended immigration processes in Haifa. The letter goes on to detail the revisions to the remainder of the ship's itinerary until it arrives in Civitavecchia on Thursday, the 18th. Initially, the ship was to spend an overnight call for Jerusalem, port of Ashdod, on yesterday, and stay until this evening. Escalating unrest in Gaza, just 30 miles southwest of the port of Ashdod, led the ship to plan instead for extra time in Haifa, a further 70 miles along Israel's western coast. Shortly after arriving in Haifa and commencing immigration processing, guests on board reported several announcements that highlighted safety concerns in the region, and it was decided not to remain in Israel. Instead, arrangements were made for port visits in Greece. Now, the Quantum Ultra-class ship will spend the day at sea on Thursday en route to Greece and will spend Friday in Santorini from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's a nice long day. That's cool. On Saturday, the ship will visit Crete from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, not a bad day. The remaining ports of call on the itinerary, Ephesus and Athens and Naples, are unchanged, as the ship's arrival in Civitavecchia for the 18th will remain the same for debarkation. So you got to always keep in mind, folks, that the folks in the cruise lines are going to do whatever they have to do to keep everybody safe. And if, in fact, there's a possibility of any kind of problems in an area, they're going to keep it out of there. And as much as I'm sure those people are upset that they didn't, and I'd be livid from, doing a Holy Land tour, a bucket list cruise, I'm sure for many. But you got to think of the safety of the ship, the crew, and all the other passengers. And you just, have to bite the bullet. So, it's just like our cruise. We couldn't go to Puerto Plata as scheduled because a cargo ship hit the dock and damaged it. So they moved us instead to Amber Cove. Now, it just happened that was good for me, but it wasn't good for a lot of the other passengers. So those things happen, and you just have to go with the flow. So I'll be back after this.
Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround.
Come on, commercial.
For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise.
I'm going to end up having a heart attack with this signal today, folks. I can tell you that right now. It's so slow. All right, next story. Our friends over at Virgin Voyages have launched the third ship, the Resilient Lady, which is joining the company's award-winning fleet of cruise ships. Resilient Lady's inaugural summer session will start from Athens and will offer 2 new itineraries, Greek Islands Globe, Adriatic Sea, and Greek Gems, with various destinations in Greece, Croatia, and the Balkans. The new ship has been designed exclusively for travelers aged 18 and above, with spaces created for renowned architect and designers like Tom Dixon and Concrete Amsterdam. The menus have been curated by Michelin star chefs with culinary influences from the Mediterranean region. The ship also features new entertainment options, including 5 new shows, 2 soirees in the manor, exclusive onboard parties, more live music acts, and a festival stage for rotating performances. Additionally, Virgin Voyages has introduced new food and beverage offers, including Opa Hour, a menu which features Greek-inspired food and beverages. I'm sure there's some ouzo involved. After her inaugural season, excuse me, Resilient Lady will embark on a transcontinental voyage through Australia. From December 11th to March 27th. Okay. Virgin Voice is also waiving all single supplements on all cruises in Europe in 2023. The offer is good from now until May 24th, 2023, on the following cruises in the Mediterranean. The Resilient Lady, May 14th through October 15th. Valiant Lady, May 7th to October 22nd. The following is included on all cruise fares on Virgin Voyages, all Wi-Fi, gratuity, basic beverage, and fitness. And I'll be back with the next story after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, folks. Carnival Pride is currently laid up in dry dock in Cadiz. That's in Spain, of course. Different spaces are being revitalized and upgraded, and the ship is generally being refreshed. General onboard maintenance and other interior upgrades are all part of the dry dock. The most significant upgrades during the month-long dry dock will be the addition of 3 completely new venues to the vessel: the Heroes Tribute Bar and Lounge, the Carnival Adventure Shop, and the Dreams Photo Studio. Furthermore, current steakhouse, David's, will be rebranded to the familiar Carnival favorite Fahrenheit 555, and in doing so, the occasionally controversial replica of Michelangelo's statue of David will be removed from the ship. You know, some people used to complain about David's statue while they're eating dinner, to the point that they put a fig leaf over certain parts of his anatomy, and they were still offended. Some people need to find out about art. Anyway, they're now removing the statue because it's no longer going to be David. It's going to be Fahrenheit 555. Other planned changes include a complete refreshment of the spa and stateroom changes, and are creating more accessible cabins. Good for Carnival. That part is awesome. And of course, they're getting a new paint job. You know, the change of livery, the blue stuff. I don't know why they call it livery. I call it a paint job. It's getting a facelift. Our first sailing will be a 12-night one-way cruise from Barcelona to Dover, England, calling on various ports in Spain, Portugal, France, and Belgium along the way. For the summer and early fall, the ship will remain homeported in Dover this year, offering different European itineraries before moving to Civitavecchia for a few sailings in September and October. On October 28th, Carnival Pride will reposition from Civitavecchia to Tampa, which will remain her home port through early 2024. The nice thing about from Tampa, the revitalized ship will offer 6, 7, and 8-night cruises to the Western Caribbean, including some select Panama Canal voyages. So that's a good sign for Tampa in the future. I like that. I like that they're doing some longer cruises out of Tampa. One of the reasons that I haven't sailed more out of Tampa is many of their cruises are short, and I'm at the point in my career that I prefer longer cruising, at least 7. But I've done a 9, a 17, and a 12, and they were all phenomenal. Even though the one I didn't have my phone, but that's a whole different story. All right, the last story this morning has absolutely nothing to do with the cruise world. Yosemite National Park has announced that some popular recreation areas may continue to see closures well into the summer as record melts from the snowpack caused rivers to rise. Although Yosemite Valley is expected to be open, rafting, swimming, and picnicking in areas along the river could be unavailable until July, a social post from the national park said. There's still a lot of snow to melt. There may be some periods between late April and early July where Yosemite Valley is inaccessible due to flooding. On Monday, the Merced River peaked a few inches below flood stage and below the forecasted peak. Snow surveyed May 1st were 231% of average for Merced River Basin and 253% of average for the Tuolumne River Basin. That's a lot of extra snow to deal with, folks. So parts of Yosemite closed, probably into July. All right, let's see who's over in the chat room. Like I said, Steve and Kenneth are both here. I hear you, but your face is frozen. Well, damn it. Sorry, Kenneth. Nikki's with us. Joanne's here. Hi, y'all. I would watch on replay if early 8 or 9. Thank you. Any time for the show is good for me as I work from home. Excellent. Hot Air Tom's here. Hi, Hot Air Tom. Good morning, Chillie and everyone. Odyssey is coming to Cape Liberty in January 2025. The price is horrible. We're going to skip our annual January cruise unless prices come way down. Don't blame me there. Hi, Katie. Glad you're with us. And again, folks, my apologies for the wonky signal. And I am showing that it's still wonky. So for Cruise Amigos, I'll maybe try to go find a better place on the ship than it is here. I do that instead of processing right now, see if I can get a better signal. All right, guys, remember there will be no show tomorrow unless I get a good signal from the airport and I get there and I've got a couple hours to spare. I may try to do something from the airport. No guarantee, because no guarantee on signals depending on where I am in the airport. But we possibly could do that. If anything happens over the weekend, I'll try to do something over the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I'll be live back in my home studio on Monday, normal time. But we'll try to keep everybody updated. And hopefully I can get some of this posting done that I'm behind on. Apparently I'm not going to be able to post anything today because, you know, I've tried to upload a couple things. Spins. So anyway, I'll be getting off the Joy. For those of you that maybe not have been closely attuned the last 12 days, it's been a phenomenal cruise. Just exceptional. Both the ship, the service, the people, my group that I'm hosting, they've all been just wonderful. And then we married together with the Norwegian solo meetup, single and solo meetups, the way they call it. And we probably at least doubled our group. And we've all had so much fun. It's just been a really enjoyable experience for me, and I think for everybody in the group. We are doing the next one on December 2nd. We got all the information on that. And for all the guys that are on the ship, I'm going to try to get an email sent to all of them sometime today. But we're going to get there. This could be a regular thing for me, I hope. So we'll see how that works out. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. And probably, or possibly, I guess I should say, for the weekend. Heading home, heading off the ship tomorrow and heading home. I don't get home until, well, I have to go to layover in New York for a couple hours. So it's like midnight until I get into Richmond. And I got to drive home or else grab a hotel someplace. I don't know what I'm going to do. But so then I'll be home sometime early hours of Saturday morning. All right, guys, have a great day. Have a fabulous weekend. I'll see you at the worst Monday, and maybe before. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have an awesome weekend, y'all. Later.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.